Hello children, welcome to Standard 10 ICSE Biology class. Every organism must somehow become aware of what is going around it and accordingly perform for its survival. Apart from actions which provide adjustment to the external environment, there are many actions going on inside our body. All such actions have to be properly coordinated, and such coordination is done by two systems. They are the nervous system and hormonal system. Let's study about the nervous system in detail. Let's understand what is the need of nervous system in our body. It performs various functions in our body, such as it keeps us informed about the outside world through our sense organs. It helps us to remember, think, reason out, etc. It controls and harmonizes all voluntary activities of our body. It also regulates various involuntary activities of our body, such as heartbeat, breathing, etc. Our nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord, sense receptors, and a lot of nerves. All these are made up of the basic unit called the neurons or the nerve cells. Now, let's understand the structure of a neuron. The three main parts of a neuron are cell body, dendron, and axon. Cell body, also called the perikaryon or cyton, contains a well-defined nucleus surrounded by granular cytoplasm. It has all the cell organelles like other cells except the centrosome. Thus, the nerve cells have lost their ability to divide. The dendrites are the branch cytoplasmic projections of the cell body. They conduct impulses towards the cyton. The next long process from the cell body is called the axon. It varies in size from a few millimeters to even more than 1 meter in length. In most neurons, the axon is surrounded by an insulating sheath which is called the myelin sheath, which is covered by an outermost thin sheet called the neurolemma. The myelin sheath shows gap throughout the length, which is called the node of Ranvier. Some axons may have side branches which are called collaterals. The end portion of the axon are branched into minute axonites, which have swollen ends like bulbs, which store certain chemicals called the neurotransmitters. Axon terminals are closely placed near the dendrites of one another or more neurons, but are not connected. Such gaps in between is called synaptic cleft. Now, let's see how transmission of impulse occurs through the nerves. In normal or resting condition, the outside of the nerve fiber becomes positively charged. This is called polarized state. This polarization is due to more sodium ions outside the axon membrane. On stimulation, it may be mechanical, electrical, chemical, heat, etc. The axon membrane at this spot becomes more permeable to sodium ions, which move inwards and cause loss of polarization. It is also called depolarization. Now, this region is known as the excited region. The point of depolarization becomes a stimulation for the next neighboring area of the membrane, which in turn becomes depolarized. Meanwhile, the previous area becomes repolarized due to active transport of sodium ions again to the outside. This transport is achieved by what is called sodium pump using energy through ATP. So, we can say that conduction of nerve impulse is a wave of depolarization followed by repolarization. We already know that the end of two neurons do not touch each other and there is a gap in between them. So, this point of contact between the terminal branches of an axon with the dendrites of another neuron separated by a fine gap is called synapse. Here, the nerve impulse jumps into the next neuron. This is a chemical process, and as the impulse reaches the terminal end of an axon, a chemical called acetylcholine is released. This chemical sets a new impulse in the dendrites of the adjacent or the next neuron. The chemical is soon broken down by an enzyme to make the synapse ready for the next transmission. Now, let's understand the types of neurons. There are mainly three types of neurons. They are the sensory neuron, the motor neuron, and the association or the connecting neuron. They are also called relay neuron. First one, sensory neuron. It conveys impulses from the sense organs or the receptors to the main nervous system, that is the brain or the spinal cord. Second one, motor neuron. Motor neuron carries impulses from the main nervous system to the effector, that is muscle or gland. And the third one, the association or the relay neuron, are located in the brain and spinal cord, which interconnect the sensory and the motor neurons. We have already studied about neurons. Then, what do you mean by a nerve? A nerve is a bundle of nerve fibers or axons of separate neurons enclosed in a tubular medullary sheath. Nerves are actually thread-like white structures which emerge from the brain and spinal cord and branch out to almost all parts of the body. A nerve may be compared to an electric cable containing numerous conducting wires, each insulated from the other. The myelin sheath of the axon acts like an insulation layer and prevents the mixing of impulses in the adjacent neurons. Now, let's understand the types of nerves. First one, sensory nerve. Sensory nerve contains only sensory fibers, bringing impulses from the receptors to the brain or spinal cord. Example is optic nerve arising from the eye and ending in the brain. Second one is motor nerve, which contains only motor fibers, carrying impulses from the brain or spinal cord to the effector organs to bring them into action. Example, a nerve arising from the brain and supplying the muscles of the eyeball for rotating the eye. And last one is the mixed nerve, and they are the nerves which contain both sensory and motor fibers. An example is a spinal nerve. Actually, all spinal nerves are mixed nerves. We know that a group of axons or nerve fibers is called nerve. Then, what is a group of cyton or cell bodies called? The aggregates of the nerve cells from which the nerve fibers may arise or enter into are called ganglia. The singular word for the same is ganglion. With this, we come to an end of our today's session. Thank you.